Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this video, the full version is available on Patreon. I'll be uploading all my content there going forward.
Chapter 1. Puff puff puff. Fluttering its wings, Yesua got mixed up in the little locust plague. At this moment, he was dumbfounded. Traveling, understandable, and very excited. But it turned into a locust, are you kidding me? And it's still the locusts in the locust plague. This is fatal. At that time, humans will spray you with potion, and then send an army of chickens, ducks, and ducks. It was a fierce battle, basically fate to be killed. What to do? Yesua was very troubled. This start was a pain in the a. Why don't you find a shit shoveler and feel the joy of live broadcasting? After thinking about it, Yesua got tired and stopped on a grass pole. At this time, only then did he realize that there were 3 figures beside him. This long war is accompanied by the entire human civilization. The outcome is still undecided. The bugs are wiped out. There was a loud roar. When Yesua heard it, wait, it seemed a little familiar. These people, this scene, and these words seem very familiar. Think of us humans as Trisolarans who are bugs. They seem to have forgotten a fact. That's right, bug. Never been truly defeated. FK. This is the 3-body world. This is absolutely amazing. Everyone in Yesua was numb. Transmigrating is transmigrating, and he even transmigrated to the world of 3-body problem. It also became a real bug in the 3-body world. The 3 people in front of them are Da Shi, Wang Miao and Ding Yi. This is the famous declaration of the wheat field in the 3-body world. It was exciting to hear. But I can't get excited. Because, now I am a bug. The head is big. Turning his head, Yesua looked at the compatriots beside him. Suddenly, a voice sounded. The system is activated. At the same time, a light curtain appeared in front of him. Locust. Genes can be extracted, drug resistance. Breed. Evaluation. Inferior genetic sequencing of organisms is useless except for a little drug resistance and reproductive ability. Hey? Light curtain. System. Ha. Yesua was overjoyed, took one last look at Da Shi and the others, and flew to a corner. System. I am here. FK, really, what function do you have? Host, I have sent the functions of the system to your mind, please check. Next second. A great deal of knowledge springs from the mind. Zerg system. Possesses a Zerg hive. It can extract various genes, optimize and fuse them, and create more powerful Zerg. It can even be powerful enough to dig space wormholes, devour everything, and travel among the stars. After understanding the system, Yesua secretly thought. This is 3-body world, depending on the situation, it is only a few days after Operation Guhan took place. The Trisolarans are estimated to come over in a few hundred years. It had nothing to do with me. However, after I awaken the system, the relationship will be great. 3-body Safan is staring at Blue Star, I really want to release the brood, Ito will definitely do everything possible to destroy me. So. Got an idea. Yesua pondered in his mind and made a plan. Moment. After Da Shi and the others left, a locust flew over and landed on Da Shi's cigarette butt. Discover human genes. Extract. Start the extraction is successful. The brood has been successfully backed up. Gene evolution room is ready. Very well, the cells start to divide and breed me a human body. Clear. Years later. Several cars were parked next to a tall building. The words Yips Genetic Research Institute are shining brightly. Da Shi got out of the car and looked at the building with gratitude in his eyes. Is the booster I'm taking coming from this place? Team Shi, you really have to thank Dr. Yet. After you were irradiated, you said that you were hopeless. I didn't expect you to bring him back with just one medicine. 10 people said. Yes, you still look like a little Superman now. I heard that the production of the strengthening agent is extremely rare, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars on the black market. Okay, don't push me, we have business. Dashi waved his hand, telling them to stop talking. In fact, after Dashi was irradiated, he also felt that he was going to die. Unexpectedly, some time ago, General Chang found him with a tube of medicine. It is said that the latest product needs clinical trials. Dashi thought that he was already near the end of his life, so he was simply creating some value for human beings. Did not expect. That thing is like a elixir. After use, all body indicators return to normal the next day. Then the body is strengthened and developed again. This made Dashi unbelievable. He's in incredible shape right now. And all of this comes from this tall building. He was even more grateful to Dr. Yat, who had never met before but saved him. Walking into this huge building, there are Yesu's brilliant achievements in the corridor. The first person in genetic engineering. Conquer cancer. Genetic enhancement theory. The gene touch theory of Locke. Etc., etc. A genius, a super genius, there's no doubting it. Even people like Dashi feel that Yesu is one of the smartest people in the world. He is already recognized as the #1 person in his field. In terms of genetic theory, basically no one is more powerful than him. So, he just came to this place. Tens of thousands of kilometers away from here, a conference is being held. A conference for Trisolarans. And for this conference, call for Yesu to participate. Chapter 2. With Dashi and others entering the research institute. Yesu also stopped what he was doing. He rubbed his eyes, ignoring the words on his retina. You are worms. Yes. With the development of the first gene enhancer, Safan has his eye on Yesu. Gene. This is a technology not involved in the three-body civilization. The sudden emergence of Yesu made the Trisolaran civilization feel scared. And the appearance of the first gene enhancer made Trisolaran's scalp tingle even more. They don't like things they can't control. Safan interference has arrived. Not just projecting uncomfortable text on Yesu's retina. There have also been several assassinations. But for Yesu, this is all pediatrics. Years ago, Yesu extracted human genes from Dashi's cigarette butts, using the brood to breed a human body. Then, it started its own development. Relying on the brood's control over genes, Yesu can easily conquer cancer. When the technology to conquer cancer is available, Yesu got what he wanted easily. Such as money, such as status. However, not enough. That's right. When Yesu solidified the Zerg brood in his own system space, it is obvious to feel the information coming out of it. Hungry. Very hungry. Resources, Yesu needs a lot of resources to support it. With the Ye's Gene Research Institute alone, I still can't afford it. Even if it is to mass-produce genetic enhancement medicine and obtain wealth wantonly, it is still unaffordable. Zerg hives require more than flesh and blood. There are also a lot of ores, metals, organic compounds, etc. And the amount needed is massive. To this end, Yesu thought of a way. That is to become a wall facer. The emergence of genetic medicine is the stepping stone for the wall facers. Yesu didn't believe it anymore. When you, President say of the United Nations, pick someone who faces the wall, you will exclude the world's first person in genetic engineering. If it is the previous genetic achievement, Yesu dare not guarantee it. But when the gene enhancer appeared, the whole world dared not ignore it. To this end, Yesu also specifically proposed the lock gene theory. This is the bait full of temptation, believe it or not. At this time, when Dashi and others came to the door, Yesu knew that he had succeeded. After a while, a staff member came over and reported. Dr. Yat, someone came to you and said it was an important matter, a public official. Well, take people to the reception hall, I'll be there soon. Clear. Soon, Dashi and others were brought to the reception hall. Just after they sat down, Yasuo came. Hi, may I ask who you are? Yasuo asked. He knew it was Dashi, and he brought his right-hand man 10 people. I had seen it when I was just a locust when I first traveled through time. I also heard Dashi's impassioned wheatfield declaration. Hello, Dr. Yat. Dashi quickly stood up, and held Yasuo's hand deeply. I am Shi Qiang from the United Nations Special Operations Group. Dr. Yat is young and promising. Especially the potion, it's really powerful. Maybe Dr. Yat doesn't know yet, but the potion saved my life. Dashi immediately opened up the chatterbox. He also admired the genetic medicine very much. Not only does it eliminate the effects of radiation on him, it also strengthens his body. Now, his physical fitness is several times better than before. It was as if chicken blood had been beaten all the time. Oh? So far, I know the source of the 3 mass-produced strengthening potions, could it be? Yasuo asked in doubt. Haha, which clinical medicine is it? Dashi said while touching his head. I see. Then what did Officer Shi want from me today? Is there any adverse reaction? No. The situation is like this. The United Nations, there is an important meeting that requires Dr. Yat to attend. As a member of Daxia's Special Operations Team, I will pick up Dr. Yat. Is it urgent? It's not urgent, it's considered urgent, hehe. Then wait for me. Sure enough, here it is. At this time, the United Nations is holding a conference on wall facers. Dashi came to pick him up? Am I stealing Logic's treatment? Hey! Forget about it, get ready and go out. Come to your own private laboratory. Yasuo took out an alloy box. Instantly, the box began to rust, as if it was melting, a silver water stream rushed towards his hand. After the contact, this silver water flow penetrated into his body. In Yasuo's observation, the silver water flow, a light curtain appeared. Nanoworms. Growth, mature body. Equal rank, second rank. Characteristics, split LV2, resistance max, hardness LV3, extension LV3. Relying on, the gatekeeper of the microscopic Zerg has the dual characteristics of life and metal, can enter the blood to replace the function of blood, and can also penetrate the body surface to form a hard armor. This is the second-order Zerg that I secretly researched. It took a lot of resources to cultivate it. It is now a mature body. In a simple summary, it is nano-attribute like Iron Man's suit. After cultivating the energy worms by myself, after miniaturizing them, they can be matched with nano-worms to form a sci-fi steel suit. That's right. These years Yasuo has been studying genetic engineering on the surface. In fact, he has been breeding all kinds of Zerg. Genetic engineering is just handy. Carbon-based life is still a long way from being genetically extraordinary, and a little fruit is casually revealed from the brood. In the human world it is an astonishing discovery. For example, in Yasuo's eyes, an extremely cheap gene enhancer. This thing is very simple, but in order to prevent some other eyes, Yasuo released a small amount. But today, he will go to the United Nations. Well, he's going to bring something shocking enough. After all the alloy boxes turned into silver water and flowed into Yasuo's body, Yasuo took out a tube of green liquid from the safe and snap it in the case for easy portability. Chapter 3. Go to the door. Yasuo hit a box lightly. Instantly, all his clothes were rusted, and a well-fitting suit was conjured up and worn on him, including his glasses. This is the ability of nanites. Once going out, Yasuo's own protection will definitely be in place. The second-level nanoworm defense, even the anti-material sniper rifle can't help him. The Ito assassination he had encountered before was also defended in this way. At that time, nanoworms were still first order. After it was done, Yasuo appeared in the reception hall again. When Dashi and the 10 people saw Yasuo again, they couldn't help being stunned. It turned out that Yasuo was wearing a lab coat, looking full of scholarly atmosphere. But now, replacing him with a normal one is simply eye-catching. With a height of more than 1.8 meters, he is handsome, and there is almost no fault in his appearance. It's like a male protagonist who came out of a female video novel. Dashi met many people. But there are not many that can achieve this level in appearance. And 10 people have been watching for a long time, and they are a little bit peachy. This is so handsome. Cough cough. The human body conceived by the brood has almost no shortcomings. Ha! Dashi laughed awkwardly, patted the arm of 10 people, brought her back to her senses, and said, "Dr. Yet is really handsome. Well, let's go now." Yasuo nodded to show that he understood. Dashi was very clever, he didn't ask what the box in Yasuo's hand was. On the road, very calm. There are basically no accidents in the access program of this specification. Even when flying, there are fighter jets escorting them. The security work is simply outrageous. Even if Ito has the strength, he can't make a move. After several hours, a group of people arrived at the United Nations meeting place. Yasuo appeared in the background. It immediately attracted the attention of countless people. Who's that person? So handsome. Damn it, it's Dr. Yet. Dr. Yet? The one with genetic engineering. Yes, that's him. I had the honor to meet him once. FK, this is a super master of genetic theory. I didn't expect people to be so young and so handsome. This guy is awesome. After conquering cancer, he can't even look down on Noble Bell. I know about this. After I didn't go to accept the award, I was ridiculed. I didn't expect that when the genetic medicine came out, it would slap half of the world in the face. I've heard that some people say that his academic qualifications are fake, that his name doesn't match his name. The result? There are a large number of schools saying that Dr. Yes Doctorate made their school read. Those idiots, what is academic qualifications in front of achievements like conquering cancer? Hey, I also heard that after he put forward the theory of locked genes, it caused a huge shock all over the world. Countless invitations invited him to give lectures, but people didn't even bother. This guy is a genius, I didn't expect to appear here. It seems that the level of this UN meeting is not low, otherwise this person would not have appeared here. The people on the sidelines were talking about it. There are also a large number of young girls with stars shining in their eyes, wanting to come up and sign. They were all stopped by Dashi. Dashi's forehead was sweating. He knew that the person beside him was very good. Unexpectedly, after he came out of the research institute, he became even better. If it weren't for him and others to protect him firmly, I am afraid that I will be overwhelmed by the rushing crowd. No way, this guy is a real academic master. As far as genetic engineering is concerned, it is second to none in the world. If there is no three-body civilization, I am afraid that Daxia will not release him from the country. Dashi looked at the time. A little eagerly took Yasuo to the Parliament Hall. On the way, Yasuo saw a young man with a flustered expression. He was also surrounded by a group of people, chasing him in the same direction. That logic. It seemed that it must be him. Soon, Yasuo and Logic entered the council hall together. The meeting hadn't started yet, but there was a bit of commotion. Because the appearance of Yasuo as a super bull in a field. As soon as he appeared, he attracted the attention of countless people. A large number of shutters sounded, and some scholars and experts in the genetic field rushed over like crazy. Dr. Yat, I heard that you have completely analyzed the DNA. Is this true? Dr. Yet, I have some thoughts about the lock gene theory. Dr. Yet, is human DNA really very stable? Does it have fusion properties? Dr. Yet, regarding the gene strengthening agent, does it mean that the gene may have the attribute of sublimation? Dr. Yet, I have analyzed your method of overcoming cancer. Does the assimilation method prove that cancer cells have the possibility of linking nerves? Dr. Yet. Depend on. Yesu's eyes twitched. So crazy. Later. Dashi rushed forward with his team, his forehead was covered with sweat. Yesu is a big bull, he knows that, for this meeting, he specially let him enter the last moment. Unexpectedly, it still caused confusion. These guys have to find time to ask questions. On such a serious occasion, it is not awkward. At last, after Dashi's 9 bulls and 2 tigers' efforts, the riot was finally quelled. Countless people could only look helplessly at Yesu, who was sitting at the back. But Dashi is like an iron wall, protecting Yesu. There is no way to break through. Logic on the side opened his mouth and smiled. He too was taken aback. Never thought about it. The person sitting next to him turned out to be the legendary Dr. Yet. A man who doesn't even look down on Noble Bell. However, he has no chance to speak with Yesu. On the stage in the distance, Sai has already appeared. The lights come on. The first meeting of the Planetary Defense Council begins. Yesu closed his eyes. Listen to the lines he almost knows. He also watched the wall facers play one by one. Frederick Taylor. Manuel Ray Diaz. Bill Hines. Logic. Until this moment, Yesu's eyes suddenly opened. Across the distance, it seemed to see Sai's eyes. At the same time, the sound rings. The fifth wall facer. Yesu. Chapter 4. Changed the plot, but it doesn't seem to have changed. The appearance of Yesu still shocked the world. Never before has genetic engineering developed so rapidly. And the lock genetic engineering theory is more like a thunderbolt, making everyone face up to the true power of carbon base. They are also longing. I hope that Yesu's lock theory can break through and bring about a different civilization. So, no matter what, Yesu still needs to be given a spot as a wall facer. Hearing the final announcement, the corners of Yesu's mouth raised. The first goal was achieved. In the future, the life of the dad who can barely make a living will be improved. The Zerg brood will usher in a period of rapid development. Yesu stood up, did not go to get that badge, and glanced at the logic of being a demon on stage. Little brother, open your mind a little bit. The life of picking up girls at public expense is waiting for you. After taking a look, Yesu turned and left, and Dashi hurriedly followed behind him. Pushing open the door, countless flashes lit up. In front of you, a large number of media extended their microphones. Mr. Yesu, do you believe that genetic technology can really defeat Trisolaran civilization? Mr. Yesu, can you tell us about your research route? How will you deal with Trisolarans? Mr. Yesu, in the face of a civilization capable of interstellar travel, do you think carbon-based life can fight against it? Mr. Yesu, may I ask if you are making a serum like Captain America? Mr. Yesu, do you think there are mutants? Mr. Yesu. All of a sudden, a lot of questions came crashing down. Globally, this live broadcast has been seen by at least billions of people. The Wall Facer Project. This method is too shocking. Global resources can be mobilized without justification. This upset a lot of people. So they want to know what kind of means Yesu has to be worthy of the resources that are about to be mobilized. However, Yesu is too lazy to ignore them. Behind. In addition to Dashi, the Special Operations Captain who has been promoted to authority, there is also a staff member of the Planetary Defense Council. Or a linker. He will follow Yesu and meet Yesu's various demands. Quickly breaking away from the media interview, Yesu went to Chairman Sai's office. And the staff officer on the side also spoke. Mr. Yesu, I am an advisor to the Planetary Defense Council. My name is Anderson. In the future, if you have any questions, you can talk to me. Of course, if you are not satisfied with me, you can also apply for a replacement consultant. Mr. Anderson, I hope that I can cooperate happily in the days to come. Yesu said. As long as this guy doesn't ask questions and just provides resources, Yesu will still get along well with him. If you talk too much, let him go. After arriving at Sai's office, several other wall facers had already arrived. Logic slips away. Normal. While the others were obviously arrogant when facing Yesu. Oh, here comes our genetic maniac, let's see what he brought us. A green titan? That's scary enough. When Ray Diaz opened his mouth, there was a bad smell. He is a complete madman, he doesn't think genetic technology poses any threat to Trisolaran civilization. When it comes to curing diseases, he will admit that Yesu is a master. But in the face of a civilization's attack, he always believed that Yesu should stay in the laboratory, and it would be better to bathe in formalin. Ray Diaz, put away your appearance, Dr. Ye is not something you can judge. Hines said, and turned his head to Yesu and nodded. Dr. Ye, I hope we can communicate more. Thought stencil of Hines' last way. This way will touch the brain, so he will help Yesu out and make a good impression on Yesu. Taylor, on the other hand, was more nonchalant. Yesu ignored the sand sculpture of Ray Diaz, he ended up miserable. Facing other people, that is, nodding. Then, put the box on Sai's desk. Sai stood up and asked curiously. Dr. Ye, what are you? I need funding, a lot of funding. Yesu said directly. This time, everyone was dumbfounded. Good guy. Wall facers can apply for a lot of funding, that's right. But I'm not as straightforward as you. At least come up with something. Look, our genetic madman can't wait. Shut up. Yesu turned his head and shouted. He stared at Ray Diaz coldly, and in an instant, all the nanites in his body sensed the master's anger. Can't help but let out the sound of insects. And this low-pitched insect cry turned into infrasound waves and washed away. Ray Diaz stepped back with a livid face, and he felt a violent breath staring at him. It was like facing a giant dragon, which made him terrified. You. He opened his mouth, his throat moved slightly, but he couldn't say the following words. Taylor looked surprised. He also felt oppressed. This sense of oppression is not like a personal aura, but more like a hierarchical suppression in the depths of life. Hines' eyes suddenly lit up. He remembered the lock gene theory that Yesu said. Could it be that he really broke through the lock, has evolved at the genetic level? Oh my god! Genius! Peerless genius! Sai had obviously seen the big scene before, but he watched Yesu open the box. There is a green potion inside. Her heart couldn't help beating violently. Her throat couldn't help swallowing. All the cells in the body seemed to be sending out signals of desire, as if this potion was the door to a new world. This is a genetic potion. Yesu picked up the green potion and said. It can make people clearly feel the existence of the lock. Do you know what that means? Touching the lock means that the person's physical fitness has reached the theoretical limit. And if it can surpass this limit, it will be the sublimation of life. It's hard for me to tell you what a sublimated life looks like, but obviously, it's better than your limit imagination. Chapter 5. The place was quiet. It's so quiet that you can almost hear everyone's heartbeat. Looking at the tube of green potion in Yesu's hand, he felt the desire signal from their bodies. The expressions on their faces when they looked at Yesu also changed. This person. Horrible. What kind of brain is it that can make such a terrifying achievement in the genetic field? Lock. Does the gene lock in theoretical fantasy really exist? Isn't this a joke? Can anyone really reach the limit? FK, it's just a fantasy. But, facing the honest body, they had to admit it again. The physical attraction of this thing is enormous. If it weren't for the overwhelming will, they all wanted to snatch the potion. Dr. Yayat. Sai swallowed hard and said. Has your research really touched the lock? As you can see. Yesua said, shaking the potion. Afterwards, Yesua put it in a box and pushed it to Sai. I'm going back to my lab, I look forward to hearing from you. Finished. Yesua ignored the others and left directly. Although no results have been obtained yet. But Yesua believed it. This tube of genetic medicine will allow them to give the results they want. Dashi, let's go back. Yesua said. Where are you going? Anshi Laboratory, my lair. I don't understand you college students, and I don't play around? Go back and do research. The responsibility lies. Yes, 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 go back, it's better to go back sooner. The group is ready to catch a plane again. On the other side, Ito. In a dark hall. The big screen flickered, playing the scene of Yesua taking out the potion. The people below were quiet, but their rapid breathing showed that they were not calm. Gene lock? Extraordinary power system. Absolutely not allowed. The Lord does not like this person, and wants this person to be destroyed. Gene power system, he shouldn't exist. Yesu, the demon of life, in the process of researching genetic engineering, he didn't know how many innocent lives he killed, he is guilty. Damn him. Go, choose the most powerful force, and kill him. Ito was scared. They are terrified by the genetic power depicted by Yesu. Lock. Once opened, what will it be? Have no idea. Even the three-body civilization itself doesn't know what it is? That would be a Pandora's box. The Trisolaran civilization does not allow such things to appear. This is a route that Safan cannot block. So, to kill him. To kill it in the cradle. The assassination begins. Ito members are all over the world, this is right. Airport. Dashi and others followed behind Yesu, and Anderson was also accompanying him. As a consultant, he must follow Yesu. It doesn't matter, anyway, Yesu just treats him as an ATM. If you run out of money, just ask for it. And at the same time, as a wall facer, there are also a large number of media following Yesu, and it is also live broadcasting around the world. Audience, now our wall facer Yesu has appeared at the airport, and he is going back to Great Xia. Yesu's voice appears on the screen. There are a lot of drooling bullet screens below the live broadcast room. FK, is this the super master of genetic engineering? I'm sore, not only is Dana, but he's also handsome. I think, as a wall facer, you need to continue a good bloodline, I can do it. Hey, you deserve it too, what are you thinking about with a greasy face? Wow, I'm so dedicated, I'll come back to do research after the meeting, it's hard work. There's a reason why I'm still at the top of a field when I'm young. I love it. Wall facer, what will Yesu's plan be? Genetic engineering. I think it should be a gene lock, just play with your cards open. That's right, the Trisolaran civilization has never studied genes, they are also blank. Didn't it mean Safan blocked technology? Then it shouldn't be possible to block genetic technology. The three-body problem doesn't even know how to block it, does it understand? Makes sense. Yesu suddenly paused. The nanoworms on his body already felt the killing intent. To put it bluntly, they feel malicious gazes, which are easily perceived by nanoworms. People numb. It is true that the eyes are the windows to the soul. When you want to do something, it will always be revealed in the eyes. As a branch of Zerg's microscopic insects, nanoworms are sensitive enough. What's wrong? Dashi asked with a smile. I felt some malicious eyes. Yasuo said. Oh, it's normal. Dashi said. A seemingly casual answer. Dashi got closer to Yasuo, and his eyes began to scan the surroundings. He will do his best to ensure Yasuo's safety. Even blocking bullets for him is okay. Dashi's small movements seemed to be a signal. The scene immediately became chaotic. A group of people did not know what was going on, and clashed with the media. And the conflict broke out in an instant. A large number of people started running, and the scene was in chaos. Da. Soldiers in full armor began to enter the arena. They were here to protect Yasuo. As a wall facer, Yasuo's defensive strength is amazing. When there is a commotion, soldiers enter the arena. At the same time, the turbulent crowd began to spread, also washing away the soldiers. The wall of people blocking Yasuo's side was squeezed into an arc. It looked like it was about to break. The soldiers hurriedly searched the human wall. The safety of the wall facers is the top priority. Suddenly, a soldier fell from the impact. Someone rushed in, and after the man rushed in, he took out a gun directly from his clothes. Boom! Dashi reacted quickly and shot him dead in an instant. However, in the next second, Dashi's expression changed. The fallen soldier had put his gun in place. They are a gang. Go to hell. Wall facer. Boom. Close range, special rifle bullets. Even bulletproof vests can't hold it. Chapter 6. Boom. There was a soft sound. Yasuo felt as if he had been hit by a hammer, and took a step back. Shot. Dashi's eyes were about to burst, and he was shot. The wall facer was actually shot under his own protection. This is simply a shame. As a public official, this is a huge dereliction of duty. And I am not ordinary myself. After using the potion, my reaction ability is much faster. However, even so, Yasuo got shot. Looking at the location where Yasuo was shot, it seems to be the heart. Damn it! Dashi almost went mad with anger. Boom! He quickly protected Yasuo behind him, and broke the assailant's hand with one shot. The second shot did not hesitate, smashing his rifle. Yes. Even though he was mad with anger, he still survived. The Edo organizers have been hiding since the Guhan project. And it's hidden very deep, so it's hard to dig. So, Dashi was left alive. The attacker was out of combat. However, his expression was extremely crazy. He watched Yasuo get shot with his own eyes. Ha ha ha. Wall facer? Jean? Ha ha ha. Before the Lord, they are nothing but worms. How could a worm want to challenge the Lord? The Lord is coming. Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the three bodies. He roared and growled. At the same time, he was also excited. Really happy. Unexpectedly, Yasuo was actually killed. A shot shattered his heart. Could he still live? Impossible. Having accomplished his task, his faith gave him a satisfying thrill. So what if he died in the next second? Worth it. And in the global live broadcast, countless people are worried. Attack? Was it a terrorist attack? Shot? Shit, Yasuo got shot. Damn it, this is too unfair. The Trisolaran civilization is already very powerful, so what kind of Edo is going to engage in assassination? Is this a war between civilizations? Basically, there is no way out. Direct assassination. What should I do? Yasuo will be fine. It's hard to say, but the camera saw him shot. That's a rifle, so close. No way, one of the wall facers will be killed just after being selected. My god, this is too desperate. Why are there so many rapes among us humans? The barrage is flying. It's just astonishing. The wall facer was publicly assassinated at the airport. Originally, it was a headache for a powerful civilization to stare at Blue Star. But there are still such people in Blue Star. They help aliens to beat human beings, which is extremely disgusting. The chaos at the scene soon gradually stabilized under the maintenance of armed personnel. Numerous cameras stared at the protected usse. Quick, grab him! Ambulance, ambulance! Dashi shouted, and then tightly protected usse. Turning his head, he saw Yessu's extremely calm eyes. By the way, are you too excited? Yessu's calm voice sounded. Dashi was dumbfounded. Isn't your performance a little too calm? Didn't you get shot? Dashi asked. That's right. Yessu responded by standing up straight. Rifle rounds at close range, that powerful kinetic energy really propels itself. But Yessu took the hand on his chest and took it down. There was not a single cut on the clothes, let alone blood. Not even creases. Planned to pull away Dashi's protection. Yessu stood up again, standing in front of everyone and all the cameras. Wow! Countless people were in an uproar. Obviously saw that he was shot. Why? As for the assailant, the expression on his face was even more unbelievable. His pupils dilated and his mouth was wide open, as if he could swallow an egg. You! Why are you okay? You were shot obviously, I saw you shot. He started growling, struggling. Assassination, failed. He stared at Yessu fiercely, wondering why. Yessu held out his hand. Then, open your palms. A deformed bullet lay quietly in his palm. A backhand. Bullets hit the ground. Ding! In an instant, a needle can be heard. Everyone seemed to be suffocated at this moment. Bullet. Abruptly caught. How can this be? This is absolutely impossible. How can a person, with a mortal body, catch a bullet? This is not about science, okay? Your Lord will perform miracles before. And now, I also showed you a miracle. It's just reciprocity, human beings are more polite. Boom! Everyone's heart was shocked. It was like being hit by a bomb. Miracle. Invulnerable. Awesome. And what Yessu said was too uplifting. The three-body civilization used siphons, which showed too many miracles in the early stage. What retinal projection, cosmic flickering. And today, in front of siphon, there was also a person who showed a miracle that belonged to human beings. Assassination? I can even catch bullets. It exploded. Why? Why? Why is this happening? It's impossible, you must be lying to me, it must be. The attacker roared. He didn't believe that it was impossible for a mortal body to catch a bullet. It must be that his attack plan was brought to light, and the bullets of the firearms were replaced by someone. Actually, I don't like being a wall facer, I only like funding. Yessu stared into his eyes with a smile and said. I'm playing the bright cards. Gene. If the Trisolaran civilization finds it unbelievable, then let them also research genes. Look, it's still very effective. For example, when I opened the first lock, I was able to catch the bullet. Wow! The whole scene boiled. The amount of information in Yessu's words is too much. Lock. He has opened the first lock. Oh my god! Is this the human being who unlocked the genetic lock? With a mortal body, directly grab the bullets of thermal weapons. It's unbelievable. Chapter 7. Countless microphones wanted to rush forward. They want to know more information. In the global live broadcast screen, the barrage exploded directly. Gene lock, this is the power of gene lock. FK, this is simply unbelievable, do gene locks really exist? He really opened the genetic lock. If it goes on like this, won't it be possible to become a god if the genetic lock is broken all the way? Is this the power of the first person in genetic lock engineering? It's too scary. A mortal body can catch a bullet. How far can it go after that? Awesome! So awesome! Brothers, the gene lock was broken through with medicine. What does that mean? It means that by then, all of us will be the ones who have broken through several genetic locks. Haha, when the time comes, the Trisolaran fleet will come over and have a look, billions of fierce men tearing up the fleet. Laughing. Trisolaran fleet is here to deliver food. The meaning of Yessu's words spread all over the world in a very short period of time. The eyes of countless people gathered. Gene lock. Incomparably powerful physical strength. Can catch bullets with bare hands. Such appalling things really happened in front of everyone's eyes. Finished with the airport. Yessu and Dashi and others have taken the opportunity to return to Daxia. But he didn't know that the attack he encountered was in the process of continuous fermentation. Gene. This subject, which was originally put aside, became popular again. No one thought that humans could really unlock the genetic lock. Even more incomprehensible. After unlocking the genetic lock, the body can actually catch bullets. Countless people watched the video over and over again. They finally had to admit it. Yessu's physical strength is appalling. Someone wanted to get Yessu's body data, but the Planetary Defense Council went straight back. What kind of onion are you? You want to attack the person next to you. This made countless people feel extremely itchy. The identity of the wall facer is too special. The authority they have is enormous. And there are only a few other wall facers who can be on par with Yessu in terms of authority. Ray Diaz looked at the message sent by his assistant with a gloomy expression. The ability of genes is so terrifying. But then, his eyes were full of arrogance. What if the premise is strengthened again? Can it withstand a nuclear bomb? People just don't have their own opinions. The war with the Trisolaran fleet is in space. Could it be possible to fly into space after unlocking the gene lock? Ridiculous. Thinking of this, Ray Diaz looked up at the sun in the sky. Instantly, a kind of great terror and great excitement filled his heart. In contrast to Ray Diaz's reaction was Heinz. He even couldn't wait to go to Daxia and have a good chat with Yessu. While the gene lock develops all-round abilities of the body, it should also strengthen intelligence and the like. In this way, the idea of the evolution of the intelligence of the whole people can be implemented. Siphons can lock Blue Star's technology, but they can't lock human intelligence. As for Taylor and Logic, both parties have nothing to do with themselves. Tyler is prone to not showing his emotions. And Logic, it's still EMO for now. Soon, Yessu returned to Daxia Angken Airport. Coming back this way can be called a luxurious escort group. Fighters followed along the way. There are even a wax and refueling aircraft. God knows what high standards the Planetary Defense Council gave him. As soon as he got off the plane, Anderson received the message. Dr. Yat, just received the news. Your initial allocation of $10 billion has arrived. Come quickly, but too little. But Yessu frowned slightly and said, 10 billion. Dr. Yat, this is the first batch. There are still several batches of funds under review. The number will be dozens of times this time. That's right. Isn't it just for money to get the quota of wall facer after all the hard work? If it's only 10 billion, it's too cheap. Yessu is in a good mood when the money arrives. After returning to the research room, Yessu started to review. Close your eyes and feel the Zerg brood in the system space. Zerg brood. Equal rank, second rank. Zerg direction, microscopic insects. Macro bugs. Flesh and blood technology tree, breeding, drug resistance, miniaturization, hardness, strengthening, giant force, microcosm, devouring. Introduction, this is the foundation of a civilization, the most incredible creation in the universe, it can breed unimaginable Zerg, and it can also impact the height of carbon-based civilization. These years, usse spent a lot of resources, but did not breed a real Zerg. Instead, click on the technology tree and turn the Zerg into two types, microscopic insects and macroscopic insects. The reason is simple. Safan is monitoring the world in high dimension. Once a real Zerg is born, the Trisolaran civilization will overreact. Similarly, even humans cannot accept it. The point of technology also proves Yessu's road goal in the early stage. His target is Tomoko. Yessu's crazy development of microscopic insects is to capture Safans. The so-called nanoworms are the gatekeepers of microscopic insects. Extending and developing inside, it is the real microcosm Zerg. As long as the Safan is captured, or it can prevent the Safan from monitoring itself, then Yessu will develop macro bugs. With the breeding and devouring ability of Zerg, it doesn't take long. It is possible to create a Zerg army with space combat effectiveness. Now Safan is on top of his head, causing himself a lot of trouble. As for genes, this is indeed a direction. But this direction has nothing to do with humans, nor can it transform humans into gods. Unless humans are willing to transform into aliens. Use the flesh and blood technology of the Zerg brood to color, so that humans are no longer humans, but another kind of Zerg. It doesn't make any sense. The gene lock that Yessu showed was nothing more than to cheat funds. The bullet attacked at the airport was naturally blocked by nanoworms. It's just bullets, how can I get nanoworms? At that time, even if you bombarded with cannons, you might not be able to kill Yessu. Chapter 8. Now I have a lot of money in hand, plus the identity of the face wall. In this way, many materials that I could not touch before can now be easily purchased. Like uranium and radium. To upgrade the Zerg brood to tier 3 requires a lot of rare minerals. These minerals are all controlled. Yessu didn't have a chance at all. Even in the black market, take out the amount Yessu needs. But it's different now. With the identity of a wall facer, Yessu can safely and boldly ask for various materials. If someone said, "What is the relationship between genetic medicine and heavy metals?" Yessu doesn't even need to answer. I, a wall facer, still want to tell you the plan? Which onion are you? It is very important to upgrade the brood to tier 3. This means that microscopic bugs are taking a step forward. At that time, you will be able to fight Safan at the micro level. Without solving Safan, Yessu's development is struggling. Soon, Yessu made a list of the materials needed. If someone else gets this list, they will definitely be scared to death by the demand for metals on it. Just like Anderson who got the list. Dr. Yat, with all due respect, does the research and development of genetic medicine really need so much uranium? Such a large amount of uranium can make a mushroom bomb. Anderson's scalp in the hall was numb. Suck. Yessu drank his tea and didn't respond. He doesn't need to respond either. As a wall facer, he only makes demands. As for what to do, then leave it to others to guess. Isn't that what wall facers do? Anderson was caught in a dilemma. The Planetary Defense Council is well funded. But it doesn't mean that these funds can be built indiscriminately. Otherwise, what do you want him to be a consultant for? But facing Yessu who ignored him, he had no choice but to report it and start buying it. It's business, then. Anderson showed a flattering smile and said to Yessu, "Dr. Yat, genetic engineering is a great project, and your genetic medicine is like the sun in the sky, showing us the direction." Yessu glanced at him. "FK, you are good at licking. Are you looking at the effect of genetic medicine? Just don't know who to speak for." And then, Yessu said. Anderson rubbed his hands together and continued. "Dr. Yat, since the information about the three-body civilization was made public, human society has not agreed. There are those who advocate defense, but there are also those who advocate instant gratification. We all know that the Trisolaran fleet doesn't know when it will come back, and people nowadays can easily pass their lives in the past. So, there's a conflict. In our country, the conflict is serious, and a large number of fighters die every year. I think that if they become stronger individually, many casualties will be reduced. In this way, it will be more able to stabilize the society and better cooperate with the work of the Planetary Defense Council. Of course, I know that the manufacture of genetic medicine is not easy. But we will give Dr. Ye a satisfactory price. Yesu raised his eyebrows. Understood. Anderson is from the lighthouse country. Obviously, he was instructed to get the genetic medicine from Yesu. Lighthouse. Understand. Everything. Under Yesu's display, the genetic medicine was like a miracle. How could they not care? Not to mention, they will think of more. Since genetic medicine can strengthen a person's body, can it increase a person's lifespan? Related to life. That would be even more enticing. What Anderson meant was to buy genetic medicine from Yesu. As for the price, open it casually. Lighthouses have plenty of money. In other words, those consortiums have plenty of money. Yesu has no doubts about the financial resources of the lighthouse. But Yesu is unwilling. The genetic medicine cannot flow out. Nothing else, just simply don't like letting it flow to the lighthouse. Just when Yesu was thinking about what kind of excuses to use to play, Dashi came over with a haha face. Dr. Yat, busy. Dashi rubbed his hands and said. What's wrong? Yesu asked. This guy came just in time. Anderson gritted his teeth as Dashi came in, but there was nothing he could do. As Yesu's exclusive security personnel, Dashi has higher authority than Anderson. Aren't you going back to Daxia now? I have a friend who wants to meet Dr. Yat. Dashi said. Want to see me? And it is the words of the great history. Yesu roughly knew who it was. After all, even the lighthouse lobbyist Anderson popped up, so it didn't make sense for Daxia to take no action. I happen to be free today, so I'll meet you then. Yesu said. Then he glanced at Anderson. Anderson had no choice but to go out. He is nothing more than an advisor to the Confidence Defense Council. After he went out, Dashi was even happier. Dr. Yat, your genetic medicine is a good thing. Dashi said with a smile. Who are you going to be a lobbyist for? That's not what you said. You are a lobbyist. We are so tight with our own people. Chongjin. Dr. Ye has such a brain, I can't hide it from you if I know it, haha. Lead the way. Okay. Dashi hurried forward to lead the way. He understood very well. After the scene at the airport, Yesu's identity is not easy. As for the wall facers, yes, everyone has to save face, after all, it is a global defense council. But face is face, and what process should be followed for everything? You can hold genetic medicine. Hey! That's different. The existence of genetic medicine can almost change the pattern of a country. Opening the existence of the lock and being able to ignore the existence of guns, this will be the most terrifying power to behead. From another perspective, this is a new deterrent hidden in the dark world. Face the kind of fighter who goes beyond the limit. No one can safely say that they can block it. Even more frightening. This kind of fighter beyond the limit can be mass-produced. This can't help but make people tempted. Chapter 9. Soon, Dashi and Yesu came to another reception room. Opening the door, Yesu saw the Chong general. Wearing a straight military uniform, his eyes are sharp, and the sharpness that can hardly be concealed overflows from his eyes. Yesu admired this man. This is the truth. However, Yesu has his own ideas about genetic medicine. Dashi introduced him and left. There were only Yesu and General Chong in the reception room. Dr. Yat, you were surprised by what happened at the airport. General Chang said. It's nothing, just some clowns. Ito is already crazy. They can only hide in the dark, but they didn't expect such a big move. It seems that the Trisolaran civilization is very afraid of you. Facing the unknown, life will be afraid, and it seems that the Trisolaran civilization is no exception. That's right, Safan blocked our technology earlier and used farmers and turkeys to scare us. As a result, many of our scientists died. Now, in the face of the power of genes, it's time to make them fearful. The two chatted for a while. General Chang's words were very straightforward. From the beginning to the end, he never asked about the effect of the genetic medicine. It seemed that he was very clear about the work of the wall facers. Whether the effect of Yesu's genetic medicine is real or fake, he will not ask. This time he just came to condolences to work, and left some armed forces to defend Yesu's research institute. At the same time, it also brought Daxia's goodwill, such as materials, funding and other issues. Great Xia will take action to give it a little strength. I'm talking about meager strength. But as a big country, Great Xia would be huge once it made a move. Finally, regarding the attack on Yesu's group, General Chang said that he would do his best to investigate. Even if it happened abroad, but Yesu, as a Daxia native, Daxia won't just endure this tone. As for the provision of genetic medicine, he didn't mention it. Corridor. Hey, why didn't you ask? Didn't you see that body? It can catch bullets. Dashi said to General Chang. General Chang looked at Dashi twice and said. Don't ask too many questions. Why don't you ask? Gene medicine, isn't it just like a production line, bottle by bottle? Hey, why do you talk so much? Wall facer. Do wall facers understand? I don't understand. Dashi shook his head. I only know how many brothers and comrades we sacrifice every year. Now, Ito is acting as a monster all over the world, and the situation of maintaining domestic stability is getting more and more difficult. If there is a supply of genetic medicine, our work will be completely different. Speaking of this, General Chang couldn't help but feel sad. There is no place in this world that is bright, but someone holds a lamp. But things are different now. Dashi, it depends on the overall situation. General Chang said earnestly. The behavior of the wall facer does not need to be explained. Dr. Ye is an extremely smart person. He said playing the bright card, so is it playing the bright card. Gene medicine is indeed eye-catching, and it can indeed play a lot of roles. But think about it, if you were in Dr. Ye's situation, would you be willing to release the genetic medicine? Don't expect too much, work hard. After speaking, General Chang left. Yesu heard General Chang's words and scolded the old fox with a smile. Reciprocity is the unspoken rule of Daxia. General Chang said that Daxia would support Yesu's work, so how could Yesu accept it safely? I am using the dialogue with Dashi to describe the current situation of Daxia. Overtly and secretly wanting genetic medicine. Yesu is too embarrassed not to give it. I'm talking. If the genetic medicine can really reduce Daxia's annual casualties in maintaining stability, what's the matter with giving them a batch? For those rebels, Yesu also admires them a lot. Shake your head. Yesu felt that dealing with the authorities was too convoluted, so he was speechless. Simply return to the laboratory and wait for the arrival of this batch of resources. On the other side, Ito. The scene of Yesu catching the bullet was played repeatedly by Tomoko. The entire Grey Hall was silent. A silent fear spreads. Terrible. Tomoko repeated the scene at that time with a very slow frame. Yesu lied. He didn't catch the bullet. But don't tell a lie. When the bullet hit Yesu's body, it seemed to hit an extremely hard steel plate. The warhead shriveled quickly. This shows that his physical fitness is so strong that he is not afraid of bullets. Such a terrifying physical quality is more terrifying than catching a bullet. Unloading force and hard resistance, which one is stronger? He's not human. He's not wearing body armor or something, that's unimaginable. Is there really someone who can resist bullets with their flesh? Superman. Gene lock. Is it really possible to do this? I can't imagine. Can such a person really be killed? If you can really open a higher level genetic lock, do you really have the ability to fight in space? This is something the Lord can't do. In terms of studying genes, can he be more powerful than the Lord? A murmur sounded. While it was suffocating, it also confused the Trisolarans who were 4 light years away. Gene? Could it be that there is really some kind of special power in the gene? Will this special power finally touch the rules of science? Or is the extension of individual strength also a road to civilization? It will take a long time for the fleet to reach the solar system. Once a technological explosion occurs. No. Safan only blocks science, genetic engineering is still outside. In such a long time, a technological explosion will almost certainly occur. In this way, no one can predict what height it will reach. What if an individual genetic civilization is really developed? Didn't the fleet go there just to deliver them? Argent, I think we need to develop genetic engineering. Finally. In the 3-body civilization, there was a sigh. After almost consuming all the resources of the Trisolaran system, they were stimulated by Yasuo again, and had to cut down on food and clothing to start new scientific research. Genetic Engineering. Chapter 10. Yasuo is scary. Let the entire Trisolaran civilization fear. Finally, Ito got the news of their master. Kill Yasuo with all your might. Yes. Do whatever it takes to kill the discipline. And it's simple. Just kill Yasuo. Because, Yasuo's research height is too high. Except for him, no one else in the world even has an introduction to the field of genetic medicine. Can't even comprehend. But Yasuo didn't know these things at all. He was excited at the moment. Finally. Relying on the high authority of the wall facer. All the resources he needed were shipped over. Big strobe car. Truckloads of resources were sent deep into the laboratory. There is Yasuo's special show. Basically no staff can enter. Throughout the process, there was no intention to inquire about these resources. The world has given wall facer enough face. Watching piles of materials appear in the hall. Yasuo is in a great mood. Today, the Zerg brood can be cultivated to the 3rd level. The 3rd order Zerg brood is not just as simple as raising a rank. It represents a division. In the regular universe, the 2nd order Zerg brood can only huddle in the planet, relying on the Zerg to devour the planet to support itself. At this time, the Zerg brood is unable to enter space. The vacuum and low temperature of space are enough to kill it. And the 3rd level will be a qualitative leap. The 3rd order Zerg brood can gain a foothold in space. It says that the cultivated Zerg can already point its fangs at the entire galaxy. Call. Yasuo felt a little emotional. Back then, one could imagine how difficult it was for him to raise the Zerg brood to the 2nd level. And in order to prevent Tomoko from interfering, breeding is almost always extreme. Without cultivating Zerg, it is just some flesh and blood technology. It stands to reason that the 2nd-tier brood can be as large as a hill, controlling millions of Zerg. At the moment, the brood in the system space is only the size of a truck. I'm sorry for you. Soon. The resources of one truck after another have been transported. These are rare minerals. If it is the Zerg brood itself, I don't know how many years it will take to collect these minerals. Relying on the resources of the wall facers, Yasuo easily pulled back. At that time, it was indeed correct to decide to use genes to open the door to the world, so as to obtain the qualification of wall facer. Soon, several robots began to carry these resource mines. Stack it on top of the pipeline. At the end of the assembly line is a huge box. In this box, there are a large number of nanoworms. These nanoworms will decompose resources, and then transport them to the system space in an unknown way. It doesn't matter if Safan sees the whole process. The Zerg hive never made an appearance. Safan couldn't understand the way it was transported into the system space. Hee. Take your time to guess. Closing his eyes, Yesua put all his heart and soul into the system space. More and more resources are brought in. After the brood absorbed the resources, it began to grow slowly. Moreover, its color has changed dramatically. The original second-tier brood was red, like a large mass of flesh and blood. Now, the red is deepening. At the same time, the interior of the brood is undergoing intense evolution. Large amounts of radioactive minerals are absorbed. The whole flesh and blood seemed to possess radioactive properties. There was even a fusion reaction between flesh and blood. Incomprehensible. Fusion of flesh and blood? What's this? Flesh nuclear bomb? Can such evolution occur in the composition of carbon-based flesh and blood? The universe is so big that there are really no surprises. Yesua stared quietly. Gradually, he saw some ways. The rules of the universe are the eternal rules. If a huge brood wants to obtain a higher level of energy, it needs a higher level of energy evolution system. First order of the digestive system. Second stage thermal energy conversion system. And the third level is the fusion system of elements. Only when a higher level energy system is possessed, can the evolved and bred Zerg possess this level of ability. Fusion, the first step in space. Sure enough. Slowly, when the entire fusion system turns into new organs and emerges, the powerful energy levels begin to wash away other organs. And upgrade it. Grow organs. Flesh scientific research organs. Command organ. Storage organs. Motor organs. In addition, there is a special chamber. Queen chamber. FK, it's hard to understand why. Everyone in Yesua was dumbfounded. His soul is connected to the hive. At this moment, he could feel the message from the brood. The so-called queen chamber is used to breed Zerg queens. Each brood will cultivate several Zerg queens. Each Zerg queen will carry special abilities. Yesua blinked. Can't wait to open the light curtain of the brood. Zerg brood. Equal rank, third rank. Zerg direction, microscopic insects. Macro bugs. Flesh and blood technology tree, branching, breeding, drug resistance, miniaturization, hardening, strengthening, giant force, microcosm, devouring. Energy, flesh fusion. Queen's chamber, empty seat. 1. Introduction. This is the foundation of a civilization, the most incredible creation in the universe. It can breed unimaginable Zerg, and it can also impact the height of carbon-based civilization. Some more attributes. First up is the Queen's Chamber. Sure enough, a third-tier brood can breed a Zerg queen. Yesua clicks on the property of this light curtain. In an instant, I saw a secondary page. You can choose the direction of the queen. Gene direction. Function direction. Command 2. Battle 2. I roughly understand. The so-called Zerg queen is an in vitro terminal. That is to say, if Yesua chooses a fighting queen, so this queen will have great fighting abilities. To a certain extent, it is the vanguard of the Zerg. If you choose to direct to the queen, that is to better command the Zerg battle. Directing to the queen is almost always required. Because when the number of Zerg becomes massive in the future, the battle control of the brood will show an exponential decline. At this time, the queen who commands the direction is needed to lead. Chapter 11. And besides the queen chamber, there are also the most obvious levels of energy organs. Flesh fusion. Good guy. It really turned the flesh fusion chamber into an energy organ. Flooded. The worm nest can continuously obtain fusion level energy from the energy organs. This saves Yasuo a lot of trouble. The original energy organ of the insect nest is a thermal energy conversion organ. Yasuo needs to feed it a large amount of high heat energy, if it is not required by the Genetic Research Institute. Importing those things has long attracted people to investigate. It's good now. You can use the authority of the wall facer to mobilize a large amount of heavy metal elements, such as uranium, tritium, heavy hydrogen, etc. All in all, the cultivation of the worm nest has finally entered the normal stage. In this way, the upgrade of flesh and blood technology will not be as slow as before. Seeing this, Yasuo breathed a sigh of relief. The previous difficulties are over. The rest is the real rapid improvement of strength. At last, Yasuo looked at the technology tree in flesh technology. Thanks to the Genetic Research Institute, almost all the genes in the world have been collected. After the worm nest was upgraded, another flesh and blood technology was born. Branch. Split. Details. The special ability of the Zerg brood can differentiate a brood embryo and recultivate it to increase the speed of the brood's acquisition of resources. Yes, not bad. Hey? Etc. Yasuo's pupils shrank suddenly. The branching ability is equivalent to the doppelganger of the mother's nest. In game terms, it is to open another base. At Blue Star. Under Siphon's watchful eye, Yasuo is restrained. However, there is not only one blue star in the solar system. The third-order Zerg brood already has the ability to survive in space. So, why hang on this planet? Instantly, Yasuo immediately began to think. Energy is everything, no matter what kind of civilization, this is the truth. The growth of the Zerg brood requires massive amounts of energy to support it. Whether it's cultivating Zerg or developing flesh and blood technology, energy is indispensable. However, on the basis of fusion energy, Blue Star's resources are not rich at all. Compared with other planets in the solar system, it can be described as barren. So, why don't I plant a mother nest on other planets and obtain a lot of energy to evolve? Yasuo felt like he had opened up his mind. It's too narrow to limit our vision to Blue Star. Look up and look at a blueprint of the solar system. 8 planets orbit the Sun. 4 terrestrial planets, 4 gas planets. And in terms of energy storage, there is a planet that is simply massive. That's Jupiter. It's a massive gas planet. The Sun accounts for more than 99% of the total mass in the solar system. In the remaining total mass, Jupiter occupies more than 70%, which is 2.5 times that of other planets combined. It is mainly composed of hydrogen, accounting for 90% of its mass. What's this? This is a planet full of energy. If the brood is the second level, I can't bite Jupiter, but after the third level of the brood, Jupiter is the best nourishment. Decided. That is to divide the brood and send it to Jupiter for cultivation. A huge plan was formed in Yasuo's heart. Cultivate the worm nest on Jupiter. As for myself, I stayed in Blue Star, Ito, and Three-Body Civilization to have fun. Subsequently, Yasuo picked up the phone. Hey, let me know. I will release the genetic medicine in 3 days, the second phase of the lock medicine. Dr. Yat, this. I understand. Soon, a wave swept the world. That eye-catching genetic engineer will announce the second phase of the gene lock drug in 3 days. This seemed to be an earthquake, shaking the heads of countless people dizzy. Is it so fast? My God, after getting the resources of the wall facer, Dr. Yet is at full throttle. I can't even imagine the genetic medicine in the second stage. The medicine in the first stage can make people invulnerable, what about the second stage? Becoming a god. Dr. Ye has already walked on the principle of becoming a god. At this rate of scientific research, what kind of thing are Trisolarans? Yes, I think genes are the future. Dr. Ye is amazing, this is playing the bright card, telling the Trisolarans what I am doing. If you have the ability, Come and get me. Awesome. All of a sudden, there was an uproar on the internet. Countless people were shocked by Yasu's scientific achievements. Has the genetic lock of the second stage been broken? And in the genetic research laboratories of various countries, there is nothing but ashes. After the tube of medicine that Yasu gave say was diluted, laboratories in various countries got a little bit. However, no matter what means they use, they cannot analyze its composition. A very obvious generation gap emerged. It's like a primitive man getting a laptop. You can know its function, but you don't know its principle. The dreadful generation gap makes the genetic laboratories of various countries full of fighting spirit. But this fighting spirit turned into despair as Yesu was about to announce the second phase of the gene lock potion. Can't keep up. Can't keep up at all. The progress of his scientific research is too fast. After getting a lot of resource support, you are completely out of touch with everyone, and you are so far ahead that you can't even see your back. For researchers, this is simply real despair. Contrast the despair of these people. The other wall facers were silent. They were also intimidated by Yesu. Such an exaggerated scientific research speed made them feel the signs of a technological explosion. And this technology is genetically oriented. The frightening research speed, perhaps, he is the real future of mankind. Taylor whispered. No. Even if he is the future, I believe my quantum ghost project can save mankind. Taylor's eyes gradually became firmer. He cleared the haze from his brows and eyes, and continued to prepare for the next experimental plan. Heinz, on the other hand, was thrilled. His group intelligence evolution plan is complementary to Yesu's gene lock plan. He is already applying for the qualification to enter Daxia. He wants to see Yesu. He wants to cooperate with Yesu. Chapter 12. As for Ray Diaz, he continued to arrogantly ask for resources and found his right-hand man. His desire for mushroom bombs grew stronger with the development of the Yesu project. And Logic, at this time also learned to enjoy life. Relying on the authority and resources of the wall facers, he lived the life he dreamed of. In addition to the reactions of these people, various countries took action after Yesu released the news. From the present point of view, genes are indeed the future. They want to seize the opportunity. Numerous calls were made to Yesu's research institute. Unfortunately, Yesu ignored them. At last, it is Ito and the three-body civilization. Relying on the quantum communication of Siphons, the Trisolaran civilization knew the news announced by Yesu. This makes them like ants on a hot pan. Quick. Too fast. Yesu's research speed is too fast. It's almost suffocating. It didn't take long to become a wall facer. The potion he took out was just a potion that penetrated into human genes. This kind of medicine can't break through the genetic lock yet, so it can only approach infinitely. What is really well documented is that he himself has entered the first stage of gene lock. Before the medicine that unlocked the first gene lock was mass-produced, Yesu announced that the drug to open the second gene lock has been researched. This Nima. It's also ridiculous. Trisolarans feel unreal. After they panicked, they began to fall silent. 3 days later, they want to see the so-called second stage gene locking potion that Yesu took out 3 days later. See if the potion contains frightening power. The entire blue star, including the Trisolaran civilization 4.2 light-years away, was stirred up by Yesu's news. All kinds of undercurrents are silently surging. Anken, Gene Research Institute. Truck after truck of resources was continuously transported into the gate of the research institute. After Yesu announced the news to the outside world, he began to retreat. In fact, it is true that Yesu is using the queen chamber of the Zerg brood to give birth to the first queen. After preparing the transplant plan, in terms of the choice of the queen's attribute orientation, Yesu did not choose the combat orientation and command orientation. Instead, Choose the function direction. The so-called functional direction means that the function is complete, not outstanding, and there is no single directional talent. It's a bit like the secretary next to the president. This choice is for the rapid development of the branch mother nest far away from Jupiter after the mother nest is separated. The functional queen can perfectly pay attention to and direct the growth of the branch brood. In a liquid-filled chamber, an embryo is forming. The rapid proliferation of flesh and blood technology can speed up cell division thousands of times. Almost with the naked eye, Yesu watched the embryo grow bigger and began to develop Zerg organs. As time goes by, the shape of a human figure becomes more and more clear. That's right. Yesu chose to cultivate human form. Functional queen, don't be so weird. But even though it is humanoid, but its organ structure is completely different from that of humans. Among the human organs, a large number of functional organs are for obtaining energy. But the Zerg queen doesn't need it. All you need is a flesh fusion organ and a raw material storage organ. The rest are various functional organs, such as quantum communication. This ability has been easily developed when the Zerg brood was upgraded to the 3rd level. There are also phagocytosis, linking Zerg electromagnetic waves, computing nerve plexus, energy evolution. Wait for the organs. From the structure point of view, the Zerg queen is clearly far superior to humans. In the same body, the gap between structure and function is too great. There is no doubt that Safan of Trisolaran must be staring at me now. Yesu secretly said. They have coveted my secrets for a long time. The brood grows in the system space, Safans cannot detect it. Then, I have a big gift from them. Let them pay attention to me all the time, so that I don't have to monitor the branch nests I'm about to release. A wicked smile appeared on Yesu's face. Next second, a girl appeared in front of Yesu out of thin air. She has a body that is almost perfect in human aesthetics, and there seem to be endless stars in her dark pupils. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Her body was dripping with chamber nutrient solution, and she was not covered in half a wisp. But there was no strange look in her eyes. It seems so natural. Master. The girl nodded and said softly. Wow. A gown was put on the woman by Yesu. Go take a shower, and then put on the clothes I prepared for you. Yesu said. Yes. The woman put on her coat and walked to the bathroom. This woman is the Zerg queen. As the owner of the hive and the pioneer of the Zerg, Yesu is, in her eyes, an out-and-out emperor. From the moment she was born, she was branded Yesu. Similarly, as a queen-level Zerg, she has the ability to communicate with Yesu. It's just that she needs to get used to it slowly. Sit on the chair. Yesu felt a voice ringing in his mind. Is her. She began to slowly adapt to the environment. Master, I can feel a microscopic existence watching me. Oh, that's Safan, don't worry about it. Now that the brood has the ability to breed microscopic Zerg, the master can give orders to the brood to cultivate it. In this way, it doesn't take long for the master to capture this microscopic observer. The cultivation of microscopic Zerg requires too much energy, and I am going to let the sub-planting nests to cultivate. Yes sir, responded. The 3rd order brood already has the ability to breed microscopic Zerg. But the resource consumption required is terrifying. A microscopic Zerg requires the equivalent of 20 million tons of mushroom egg energy. It is too slow to rely on the research institute to save a little bit. After aliquots of plant insect nests have been released, Jupiter, with its huge energy reserves, is the cradle of the microscopic Zerg. That time, at the micro level, you can have a good arm wrestling with Safan. Chapter 13. Ito, in the dark hall. Safan will play the video of monitoring Yesu in all directions. It even slows down at key points. When everyone saw a woman suddenly appeared beside her, the audience was in an uproar. This is become a living person? How can it be? How could a woman suddenly appear? In Tomoko's slow motion, this woman appears suddenly. No matter how many times the siphon is slowed down, it will appear suddenly. It's like the space is stuck. This unscientific. The whole hall immediately became noisy. There are countless speculations about Yasu's behavior. After the implementation of the wall facer plan, Ito's wall breaker plan was also implemented. The wall breaking plans of other wall facers are proceeding in an orderly manner. Only Yasu could not find any clues. However, the woman who suddenly appeared gave everyone hope. They feel that there is a flaw in Yasu, and this flaw is the woman who suddenly appeared. Great Lord, has the identity of this woman been confirmed? Someone asked. A line of words soon appeared on the screen. This is a woman who suddenly appeared in the world without any records. Someone yelled. I have an idea to break the wall. This woman is Yasu's biggest flaw, he is creating humans. Making humans? Cloning. Ha ha ha, he is challenging human ethics, he is finished. Ethics? Yes, he's finished. Humans will never allow the technology of cloning to be produced, and humans will not allow substitutes. Yasu is actually involved in cloning technology, let alone that he has already cloned humans. Nearly perfect woman, ha ha ha. Human beings are indeed lowly creatures, and they will eventually be captured by their own desires. Isn't he going to announce the second phase of the gene locking potion? As soon as he announces it, we will attack him. Maybe, this is not the real wall facer plan, but the tool of ethics is enough to destroy the wall facer Yasu. Yes. At that time, he will lose his aura as a wall facer, and he will be beaten by everyone in the human world. He's done. In the hall, people shouted excitedly. They found a way to attack Yasu. This way, even Trisolarans can't think of it. Only humans understand humans. The Trisolarans, who are 4.2 light-years away, find it difficult to understand Ito's cry. In their eyes, if there is really a technology that can clone and create the same family, then this must be a precious technology. A civilization with this technology will be capable of deep ocean voyages. Carrying energy and materials, the spaceship travels to far, far deep space. Then create racial life on planets that can survive, and civilization will continue. What's wrong with this technique? But why is this technology so unbearable in the eyes of humans? Will it even become an existence that everyone shouts and beats? Finally, the Archon can only sigh. A weak civilization may never understand, survive. It is the first essence of civilization. If the Trisolaran civilization has this kind of technology, then their fleet had already set off. Relying on the brain, no matter how many years of voyage, it only needs to find a living planet to quickly create a Trisolaran. In this way, the Trisolaran civilization will continue in the universe. Passing of the times. The flashpoint that stirred up the world's situation was in Anken. Today, Yasu will announce his second stage gene locking potion at the press conference in Anken. Countless people rushed to Anken. Even scholars from other disciplines are included. In a short period of time, Yasu uses his astonishing scientific research ability to tell the true direction of all mankind. If he really made the second stage gene locking potion, so he will lead mankind to move forward continuously in this direction. In the end, it leads to an unpredictable path. On this day, when countless scientific research leaders and leaders in various disciplines gathered in Anken, genetic engineering is bursting out its leader-level power. The whole world has never been at that stage where scientific research has made genetic engineering so brilliant. Even the cloned sheep dolly didn't make this subject brilliant. This day, media from all over the world will be present here. The rest of the people were watching the live broadcast. It can be said, the success of the second stage gene locking potion affects everyone's heart. Too many people are tired of science. They began to yearn for the power of genes. It's like they firmly believed that the whole universe revolved around the blue star. They desire that this kind of human life is inherently extraordinary. It's just that before, the original power was not tapped. In the laboratory, Yasuo communicates with the Zerg Queen Lillian through soul communication. Yes. Lillian is the Zerg Queen's name, she took it herself. Lillian, it's really sad that it's very difficult for human beings to have supernatural abilities genetically. Yes, Master, the way they obtain energy is too low level. Although it can be transformed, after the transformation, the overall structure is more biased towards Zerg. Yes. Yasuo shook his head. The limit of human genes is the limit. The so-called genetic medicine can bring it closer to the limit, but it can only improve it so far. If you still want to improve, then change the entire body structure. More advanced energy harvesting methods are needed. But such human beings are no longer the species of human beings. There really is a limit to being a human being. Yasuo was chatting with Lillian while diluting the culture solution of the Green Queen's chamber. This is the source of the genetic medicine that was given to Sei at the beginning. It is nothing more than the culture fluid of the Zerg. I promised General Chang that I would give Daxia a batch of genetic medicine. Soon, Yasuo boxed the medicine in his hand. He took Lillian out of the laboratory. Today is a big day. He will show the true power of genes. Chapter 14. Walking out of the laboratory, Yasuo handed the box in his hand to Dashi. Dashi quickly took it and said with a smile. What a shame, haha. He said so in his mouth, but he held it tightly in his hands. Afterwards, a group of armed personnel escorted the box to leave. And Dashi, as Yasuo's special security personnel, of course has to follow the whole process today. Walking behind, Dashi couldn't help but glance at Lillian. This woman. I haven't seen it. 10 people, this woman is. 10 people nodded, meaning that they were the one mentioned on the internet. Dashi raised his eyebrows slightly, but did not respond. He looked at Yasuo, a little worried. On the internet, just yesterday, someone broke something. Said Yasuo could hardly suppress the desire in his heart. Using the resources of the wall facers, a cloning experiment that violated human ethics was carried out. He cloned a nearly perfect woman to follow him. As soon as this kind of online rumor came out, it was banned. But the more it is banned, the more it spreads. Obviously, there is Ito's shadow in it to fuel the flames. However, Dashi was very worried. I'm worried that those rumors that spread at night are true. Clone. This is a taboo. And even if it's really cloned, then it's sneaky, just turn a blind eye and pretend you didn't see it. But Yasuo was brought out by an upright person. This is a bit bad. Hey, I didn't pay attention to it just now, is that woman really beautiful? Nearly perfect, said the 10 people in a low voice. Perfect, then, hey. Dashi sighed softly. There are some things he really can't say. Forbidden? It's too ethically challenging. Soon, as everyone moved forward, Yasuo came to the place he designated for the press conference. This is a huge open-air square. In the past, this kind of place was the most difficult to defend against assassination. But Yasuo has already shown his ability. I believe that Ito fools will not use this method of assassination. Unless you use terrifying missiles to carry high-explosive warheads or tactical mushroom bombs. Otherwise, you can't kill him at all. Assassination is so difficult, Ito has long since given up. That's why he chose to bombard him from another direction. And today, at Yasuo's press conference, Ito is ready. But in the same way, Yasuo is also ready. On the huge open-air stage. As Yasuo entered the stage, countless applause rang out. A large number of shutter sounds sounded. In front of countless cameras, everyone saw Yasuo and Lillian beside him. Yasuo was on it and saw many acquaintances. Wang Miao, Ding Yi, and even Ye Wenjie. They are all here. In addition, there are a large number of scientific scholars, big cows in various fields. They converge here. I just want to see if there is really a second stage genetic medicine, as Yesua said. Whether there is a human being has never touched the mighty force in the gene. In short, today's press conference will be recorded in history. At this moment, the press conference has not yet started, but on the Wang network, there is already a lot of noise. Wow, that woman! It's absolutely amazing. Does such a beautiful woman really exist? My God, she can definitely satisfy all human fantasies. Just kidding, isn't it inevitable? The above mean? That is Dr. Yi's assistant, the above must be. You don't know? It's going crazy on the internet. Insider, insider. I heard that she is a clone, created by Dr. Yet. FK, you can't talk nonsense. Clone, this is taboo. The above is talking nonsense, and the internet is going crazy. This is amazing, Dr. Ye has taste, this woman is the best. Brother, is this a matter of taste? How to say? What if there is a boss of a country and one is cloned? Damn it! What the FK are you? You really dare to think? Of course it is. Don't talk about this, don't talk about this, you will be banned. Don't talk? Does it mean to ignore the clone in front of Dr. Yet? What do you mean? I think, according to our laws and regulations, clones cannot exist, she must die. I want to say that Dr. Yet, as a wall facer, has his own plan, so let's leave it alone. Wall facers can do whatever they want. Wall facers can do whatever they want. Look at the logic next door, they're all crazy. It's his own business to play crazy, but clone. There are people all over the internet who are taking the rhythm. Everyone was arguing like crazy about cloning. Some people think that Yesu's status is special, so it's better not to see it. Some people think that because of Yesu's special status, it cannot be ignored. After all, cloning is too dangerous. If driven by someone with a heart, cloning can easily control a country. The dangers posed by this technology are terrifying. Just when everyone was arguing, the press conference has started. Instantly, shocking applause resounded throughout the venue. In the applause at the same time, some people sneered. Yesua pressed down with both hands. The applause stopped. Yesua began to speak. Explains the development history of the genetic engineering of the whole human being. And explain the benefits of this discipline. Take the fight against cancer, for example. For example, people do not have congenital diseases. Subsequently, emphatically introduced the history of the development of gene medicine. Just when everyone was listening with gusto, suddenly, an uncoordinated voice sounded. Dr. Yat, there is one more benefit in the development of genetic medicines. What? Yes sir, responded with a smile. Coming. Look at that location. That's where the Planetary Defense Council is centralized. That's all, it's interesting, it's a girl standing up. Dr. Yat, my name is Cheng Xin, and I'm from the Planetary Defense Council. During the research and development of genetic medicine, there is also a benefit for you, that is, it can clone a woman who suits your aesthetics and makes you happy. For example, Cheng Xin pointed at Lillian. Like that woman next to you. In an instant, everyone was in an uproar. Chapter 15. Hoo. A rebuke from the Madonna of Morality. It's late but it's here. Cheng Xin. This universe-destroying Holy Mother finally appeared. At first, Yesua thought it was Ito who sent someone. It turned out that it was Cheng Xin. Have to. Ito doesn't need to send anyone. Cheng Xin's combat power was much stronger than Ito's. As a person who almost stands on the commanding heights morally. Lillian created by Yesua using cloning technology. That must be condemned. Cheng Xin can resonate with any existence. She looked at Lillian with unspeakable sympathy in her eyes. That was an innocent life. From the moment of birth, it is the forbidden domain of others. Is there anything more sympathetic than this? Is cloning a crime? No. Those who are really guilty are those who master the cloning technology. For example, Yesu. In order to satisfy his own selfish desires, he actually desecrated his life. Even wall-facers. Even if he is endowed with the responsibility of saving all mankind. But Cheng Xin has to stand up and seek justice for innocent lives. At this moment, Cheng Xin was full of fighting power. And her words also made the audience noisy. The members of Ito almost laughed out loud in the dark. Cloning technology, this is a taboo in human technology. Those that circulated on the internet yesterday. Everyone here knows it. It can be hindered by Yesu's identity as a wall-facer. Everyone is silent. Human beings have selfish desires. Especially the wall-facers, their pressure is enormous, and it's fine to have a channel to vent. But this kind of thing cannot be placed on the countertop. Putting it on the stage will make Yesu unable to get off the stage, which will lead to many bad consequences. But Cheng Xin didn't care about these things, and just exploded. She empathizes with any innocent life. She is right. The radiance emanating from her body can almost blind the eyes of others. Cheng Xin. It's interesting, what do you say about Lillian? Yesu said with a smile. This Holy Mother, who is going to smash her face to pieces today, actually gave Ito a head. The trap made for Ito, this bee thing actually stepped in. And proud of it. What a hell! Dr. Yat, may I ask this Lillian next to you, how did she get here? I made it. Yesu said directly. This is a confession. In an instant. Everyone below felt their scalps go numb. Dashi exclaimed in his heart. My Dr. Yat, can you not tell the truth? I even got her ID card ready. As long as you tell a white lie, it's over. Dashi covered his head on the sidelines. Dr. Yat, manufacture. Cheng Xin's fighting strength was at full strength. This is a real person, Dr. Yat. Although she was born with the wrong technology, she should also enjoy her rights as a human being. She should go to study and see this beautiful world. She should enjoy life well, fall in love and have children, instead of being tied to one person. Dr. Yat, you are too selfish. Your character is not enough to become an existence like a wall-facer. I will report to the Planetary Defense Council and revoke your status as a wall-facer. Cheng Xin's eyes were red. She feels pain. A living and thinking person is brainwashed in this way and becomes another person's prison. Since then, there has been no sunshine in my life. Only like a puppet, using his body to make another ugly person feel the joy of living. Yesu raised eyebrows. This guy plays a lot. Does civilization matter? In her eyes, it doesn't matter at all, her personal feelings are the most important. It is worthy of standing on the moral high ground. At the same time, Cheng Xin's words made countless people feel empathy, and they began to point at Yesu softly until the end. The voice of duty almost converged into a wave. Unacceptable. Even a wall-facer can't do this. Yes, this is too contrary to human ethics. If this continues, morality will collapse. Are all people who study genes so perverted? I can't stand it anymore. That girl is so miserable. I think Cheng Xin is right. Punish Yesu severely. Our world can accept a woman who came into this world in a wrong way, but we can't let Yesu make more mistakes. A lot of voices sounded. Even on the internet, the screen is rapidly swiping. Everyone is dissatisfied with Yesu's approach. Even wall-facers can't do this. And Yesu, as if waiting for a trial at the moment, didn't say a word on stage. Master, do they have no brains? Uh-huh. Civilization is facing a huge crisis. Why should we talk about morality, which shouldn't exist? Hey, this is a human being, what's so strange about it? Yasuo shrugged. This is so normal. Wait until they're almost quarreling. Yasuo pressed his hand to make them stop. Then, he pointed to Cheng Xin. Go, grab her. Clear. Lillian gets orders from Yasuo. The fusion flesh and blood organs in her body began to generate huge energy. After the gravity organ obtains huge energy, it emits a powerful magnetic field. Next second, Lillian counteracted the gravity of Blue Star and soared into the sky. Come to Cheng Xin's side. The rule of the terrifying magnetic field transformation force, a wave of repulsive force spread out. Everyone around Cheng Xin was bounced away. Lillian grabbed Cheng Xin. Fly over the stage. This scene. Shut up everyone. Extraordinary. Extraordinary strength. There was extraordinary strength in that woman. Moment. Everyone's brains reacted. This is the press conference of Yasuo's second phase of gene lock. And what the woman showed just now is the extraordinary power of the second stage gene lock. That's easy. Incredible. The eyes of those great scientists in the audience widened. It seems that the three views have been shattered. It's as amazing as cosmic twinkling. The difference is, one was made by Trisolarans. The other one was made by our own people. Everyone. Yasuo said loudly, pulling everyone's souls back. I have poor moral character and am not suitable for the status of a wall facer. Then, I will resign as a wall facer, and I will no longer enjoy the resources of a wall facer. And this person who shouldn't appear. I will kill her too, so everyone will be clean. Then, a loud roar sounded. Don't want. No. Do not impulse. Yasuo, calm down. Don't. Chapter 16. Everyone present felt their scalps go numb. Dr. Yat. What are you talking about? Resign as wall facer? No. You are a great genetic engineering scholar, and your research is astonishing as ever. The road you said to lead is simply a beacon for mankind. And the woman next to you is the bright light on this lighthouse. Her body exudes a super light. She was almost the first to rush up to calm Yasuo down. At the same time, he gave Cheng Xin a hard look. It felt like saying, ugly thing, I'm mad at my doctor yet. And Cheng Xin shrank her neck, her eyes turned red. She pursed her lips, bowed solemnly to Yasuo and said, Dr. Yat, I'm sorry, but your research is great. However, I still hope that technology can be in the hands of civilization. FK. Can advance and retreat. The virgin deserves to have half a halo of pig feet. What to do? Kind of like killing her. Lillian felt Yasuo's emotion. A tyrannical light instantly appeared in her eyes. As the queen of the Zerg race, there was no burden in killing low-level creatures like humans. Get out, you don't have a place to talk here. She yelled loudly, telling Cheng Xin to leave immediately. He already sensed that something was wrong with the atmosphere. This is a global live broadcast of the press conference. If someone dies, it will be very troublesome. Yasuo collected himself. Not in a hurry. Planning matters. This press conference must continue. Soon. Previous responsibilities vanished as if in a farce. The rest is endless publicity and exclamation. Lillian shows the power of appearing. Makes cheeks flush. If humans can really easily master this power. What are those three-body people? The press conference continues. Dr. Yat, I'm Wang Miao, who studies nanomaterials, can I ask you a few questions? A man stood up. His eyes are deep. As a clearer of the three-body game, from the game, I have enough understanding of the three-body civilization. Dr. Wang Miao, I know you. You contributed a lot to the construction of the space elevator. Yes sir, responded Wang Miao, an important task in the early stage of three-body universe. Without the nano-flying blade technology he researched, there would be no Guhan project. Without the Guhan project, human beings' understanding of the Trisolaran civilization would drop several levels. Compared to your research, I feel my insignificance. Wang Miao said. Dr. Yat, this Ms. Lillian next to you, is he the protagonist of today, the beneficiary of the legendary second stage gene lock potion? Wang Miao asked a question that everyone couldn't wait to know the answer to. The medicine of the second stage of gene lock. Is it really so amazing? Is it really possible for people to master extraordinary powers? Yes. Yesuo admitted. This time, the sound at the press conference could no longer be controlled. Everyone roared excitedly. Extraordinary power. Gene lock system. This blue planet has been cautious for several years under the haze of the coming Trisolaran civilization. It's been a few years. These people have a heavy burden on their shoulders. This burden even made them dare not laugh out loud. But today is different. A godlike figure finally came out of the human race. He blazed a path out of desperation. A road that no one has touched. The power of genes. And he also personally demonstrated the incredible power of this power. A sense of relief made everyone cheer. Along with the billions of people watching live. That's right. The global live broadcast of this press conference has broken all the ratings that can be recorded on Blue Star. When those thousands of miles away understand the power of genes from translation, they couldn't help shouting loudly. Three-body civilization, die. The power of genes, that will be the ultimate power of our humanity. I seem to have seen the fiasco of the Trisolaran civilization fleet. Dr. Yat, the savior. Wait, he's a wall facer, isn't his words part of the plan? Dr. Yat, you are too powerful. Haha. I knew that every time there was a crisis, someone would stand up. My great Xia and Er Rongguang are amazing. Lillian, goddess. Long live the power of genes. Flying to the sky, we will all have the power to fly to the sky. Ha ha ha, three-body civilization, do you want to change now? In fact, the Trisolaran civilization really panicked. They know everything through siphons, and they are paying attention to this press conference at the moment. The power of genes is terrifying. Others just saw Lillian flying out of thin air. But the three-body civilization can see more. Magnetic field repulsion reaction force. It is the technological level after the grand unification formula is analyzed. The genetic medicine of the second stage is already at the same technological level as ours in terms of practicality. As long as we let him continue to develop, he will catch up with us, and even surpass us. Wait and see, we have no choice. Wall facer Yesu, he is our greatest obstacle. Let Safan closely monitor him. And at the venue. Wang Miao, do you believe it? Ding Yi, who was at the side, asked in a low voice. His voice was accurately transmitted to Wang Miao's ears amidst the noise. I've observed it. When Lillian did it just now, the compass on my watch was spinning around. Individual life magnetic field affects planetary magnetic field. That's right, if an explanation is needed, it can only be explained by genes. He really took a different path. Gene civilization is really incredible. Wang Miao and Ding Yi whispered. But after saying this, Wang Miao frowned. He knew about the three-body civilization. Now, the fleet of the Trisolaran civilization travels to the solar system at 10% of the speed of light. This is enough to show that their technology has reached a sufficient height. The power of genetic systems. Can it really be resisted or even defeated? With this question, he couldn't help but asked again. Dr. Yat, I have never doubted the power of genes, but can an individual's genetic power really withstand the Trisolaran fleet? Chapter 17. Yesuo looked at Wang Miao. How to say? It's really a kind of smooth sailing. Wang Miao's question made Yesu's replanting plan almost a matter of course. At this time, following Wang Miao's question, countless cameras turned around. Everyone has already understood. This is a high-end game. Maybe it's the kind of non-disclosure agreement that everyone listens to at the press conference. Needless to say, Wang Miao, the great contribution of the space elevator, and the great contribution of nanotechnology to human beings. And Yesu, the supermaster of genetic engineering, the bearer of hope for the survival of Blue Star. The two of them were talking about the fate of mankind. And Wang Miao's question also satisfied the whole world. Yes. They all asked their hearts. Can the power displayed by unlocking the genetic lock really be able to resist the warships of the Trisolaran civilization? Dr. Wang Miao, please come to the stage. Yesu stretched out his hand and said, ready to push the boat along. Wang Miao did his part. After walking onto the stage, Wang Miao's heart trembled. At close range, he was really amazed by Lilian. This woman is simply the embodiment of perfection. But he won't mention cloning. Yes. Everyone put the matter to the back of their minds. You see, that's it. When there are huge benefits, any taboos will not be taboos. Dr. Wang Miao, have you ever been in space? Yesu asked. Yes, after all, I supervised the construction of the space elevator. Wang Miao said. Oh, the signal from the space station should be good. Wang Miao nodded. He didn't understand why Yesu asked this. But what Yesu said later surprised him. Since the signal is good, let's be in space for the second half of the press conference. What? Wang Miao was puzzled. But the next second, his pupils dilated instantly. Shock, unparalleled shock. A huge load was acting on him, but it was just within his tolerance range. He watched the stage of the press conference getting smaller and smaller, and the shouts that shook the sky kept going away. He saw the flying dove, he saw the clouds, he touched the moist clouds, he saw the clouds under his feet. His heartbeat accelerated beyond belief. He felt that his feet were on the ground, but the sky was falling. However, the fact is, he is flying. In an unbelievable way, he broke away from the gravity of the Earth's center and quickly went out into space. Looking at the man next to him with absolute confidence on his face. The emotional complexity in his heart is beyond words. This moment, the whole world is seething. A true miracle unfolded before them. Lilian, this breathtakingly beautiful woman, took Yesu and Wang Miao away from the gravity of the earth and headed straight for space. Along with them, there is also a storage-type live broadcast device. Everyone can see clearly on the big screen. They leaped over the clouds and beyond the shackles. Relying on personal strength, go to the sky. It's just miracle. Ding Yi stared at the screen and said in a daze. Even Ye Wenjie was extremely moved at this moment. At this moment, her heart was agitated as if she had pressed that button in Hong'an. In my life, I was lucky. I saw two miracles. She whispered. In people's eyes. Yesu, Wang Miao, and Lilian just rushed out of the atmosphere and reached space. In space, is there air? No protection, no protection. Dr. Yat, come down and put on the spacesuit. My God, this young man, don't let this be. Is it a real live broadcast? I feel like my heart is going to jump out. It is indeed a live broadcast, and my colleague is at the scene. I was so shocked that I couldn't speak. Is this scene really something we can see in this era? No protection, I'm worried. What are you worried about, that Lilian, who can take people into space with her own strength, can't she protect Dr. Yet and Dr. Wang? Yes, it makes sense. Brothers, I feel that my imagination is not enough. Don't talk about it, just look at it, I'm numb. Dr. Yi's press conference is so exciting. Actually, the one who is really exciting is Dr. Wang, look at his face. Ha ha ha. Wang Miao's complexion was indeed not good looking. After leaving the ozone layer, cosmic rays are no longer blocked. Such a weak life like human beings simply cannot survive. There is also the extremely cold vacuum environment in space, where people die every minute. However, with increasing height, Wang Miao has clearly felt the state of weightlessness. But he was still able to breathe, and he didn't feel the extreme cold on his body surface. There is no discomfort of being attacked by rays. His eyes were even more puzzled, but Yesu didn't speak. This is Yesu, communicating with Lilian. This living planet is too small, and its gravity is not strong. Lilian said. If I didn't worry about the fragile life of this human being, I could increase the speed to 300 times the speed of sound. How much energy is consumed? Yesu asked. Lilian's energy storage organ has the equivalent of 3 Sakurajima boys. These energy materials react violently in the flesh fusion organs, and then output huge energy. The energy supply force field organ uses its own magnetic field to transform into repulsive force, and breaks away from the blue star in the way of reaction force. And in space, the force field organ will capture various gravitational ripples, and use the force field organ to adjust them to attract or repel each other, so as to obtain the power of space flight. At the same time, the force field organ is also responsible for capturing a huge spherical air mass, and binding it to cause the same air pressure of the blue star, and block all kinds of deadly rays of the universe. This is a very complicated operation, if it is controlled.
वीडियोस बनाने हैं, फिल्मोरा है ना?